Not be this time, person they play politics with security matter. Obaseki na him talk this one. We as government don't they do collabo with soldier, police, and other security people to stop the crime rate for Benin Auchi Road and Environs. Governor Godwin Obaseki don't talk say Edo State government no go play politics with security matter. Obaseki talk this one for Irua when he meet with traditional rulers and stakeholders for Edo Central. Obaseki went talk say security matter for Nigeria don worse, constantly and say Edo State government don't take ogbonge steps to secure the state.
You are all aware that the biggest challenge facing our country today is security. And unfortunately, it is not improving. Yes, we can beat our chest in a door and say our situation is relatively calm compared to many other parts of the country. But it will not be a wise thing to do because with security, you do not know when it will be your turn. Those decisions we made need to be followed up because we are the ones who agreed that we must. You all know that the sole purpose of government, any government, the purpose of our leaders is to ensure the security of lives and property. Because if there is no security, there can be no government. Simple. When your security fails, the society fails. So we have no option, we have no choice but to step back and honestly and sincerely look at the security challenge or challenges we face and do something about it. You cannot play politics with security, and we are not going to.
Obaseki constantly and say the new security architecture for Edo State na collabo between government and communities. He say government must screen all vigilantes for the local government and keke napep and Okada riders must register with their local government.
The new security architecture which we're designing does not rest on government alone. In fact, it rests on the community. Because we have always been here. We've been here for hundreds of years. And before the coming of the white man, we secured ourselves. So in our communities, there is a security system which we're only just modernizing by calling them vigilantes. There was a traditional security system. There's the security system that was brought in by the Europeans when they came. We cannot let one go for the other. It was by not that disalignment, particularly after the military came, that has caused this problem we're having. The traditional leaders are the landlords, as it were, of the community. And as landlord, you have responsibility for your house. Nobody can come into your house or compound and stay without your permission or knowledge. Is it possible? And if you find somebody you did not invite or you do not know staying there, and you want to remove the person and you can't, then that's where you need support from outside to help you do it. So we will support the vigilante code, no doubt about that. However, we want to know who they are. Are they people of good character? Do you know them? If they do anything outside, are you going to be responsible for their actions? Because by the end of this meeting, we'll tell you the steps we have taken about how to deal with them. So that people don't keep repeating themselves. What we have said is that the security councils must meet and tell us who and which vigilante groups operate in your area. So in Eastern Central, how many vigilante groups do we have? Right now, who put them together? How did they come about? Did they on their own just wake up one morning and say, okay, we want to be vigilante? Is it the market groups and market women who say come together when we give you something every month? How did they come together? So that we just don't find criminal groups coming up tomorrow and say they are vigilante too. So the local governments, security councils must go through a quick period of quick screening. Because in that your security council, DSS is there. Is it? Are they not? Police is there. So please, you have to. It's when we have screened them, we know how many they are, then we can now begin to join you in planning or providing the logistics and what they require so that they can do the work they are doing. Okada riders not having homes, not knowing a place of abode. We are going to be launching in August the Edo State Residency Identity Card. You cannot do business or live here if we don't know you. That card is going to be linked to your NIMS number. Nobody will come to your palace if you don't know them, if they don't have names. In the markets, nobody will sell to you if we don't know you. So that we know who is living with us in a community and we can profile them. So if anything goes wrong, we know how to look for the people and how to trace them. So I just thought I should let you know this, that yes, as usual, Edo Central is very organized. We haven't had major incidents, but we would like to know, because we have a report we will give you of all the incidents of kidnappings and the areas where they have killed people. Somebody must know something. We need to know what happened. As you did bush combing, what did you find? Because, like I said, the bush is part of your domain. Why are people living there? Did you permit them to? If you did, under what terms? So if they don't have a permission to live there, let them leave. Where did they come from? They should go back to where they are coming from. And in that case, what are they doing there? If they are farming, who gave them the permission to farm? Because it's somebody's land, right? And if not, they should leave or go and take the proper permission before they can go and do what they want to do there. With this, government must know, because security is about information. Security is about intelligence. If you don't have it, then you cannot secure the place. Like I said, security is about information and data. So all these things you have told us, we will now look at the police records and compare with what we have to see whether there has been any incident or what type of incidents have been reported. We have to have a monitoring mechanism, particularly now that you have told us what you have done. There has to be a monitoring mechanism that will start with the Security Council in the local government, then it will be followed up from Benin. Let me quickly remind you of some of the decisions that were reached on the 5th of July. This was after deliberations with traditional rulers, religious leaders, and other influential members of society. We came to Benin and agreed that we should have an expanded stakeholder meetings in all the 18 local governments in the state. So I expect that coming here, the local governments, the 5 local governments in Edo Central will have met, that the Security Council of each local government would have met and consulted widely with the village heads, with everybody who is involved in the security architecture, so that we have the feedback from the messages you've given to them. Because we need to come to certain decisions and take certain actions immediately. We agreed that the security teams in each local government will undertake bush combing and policing of our forests and ungoverned spaces. I hope that some steps have been taken. I've gotten reports of some action. We need to know those areas that we haven't covered and the challenges we have. We agreed that We will relocate squatters in the markets and motor parks. And we will not allow a situation where people now live in those places or have hot spots where they drink and socialize till the early hours of the morning. We agreed that we will strengthen and provide necessary logistics and payments to the Vigilante Corps. We agreed that you will go back, and for those local governments where they were having fracas and disagreements between the hunter groups, that the Security Council was going to meet with them and reconcile and streamline the activities of the hunters in your local government. We agreed that we were going to identify all the black spots, areas where people go and hang out, where criminals tend to come together, where drugs are sold, so that we can dislodge these criminals from these places, and so that uncompleted buildings are not used by criminals as residential houses. It was also agreed that all operators of keke, napep, and okada motorcycles, and even taxis, must be registered in that local government so that we know their areas of operation and we know them. And then, finally, that we will promulgate and come up with the strict enforcement mechanisms for the anti-grazing law. Finally, I'm pleased to inform you that the Edo State government now has a law which prohibits open grazing in Edo State. The law has been signed by me. It was signed on the 27th of May. And the objectives of the law are as follows. It will prohibit open grazing of cattle and other livestock in Edo State and create designated ranching areas for the rearing and grazing of cattle and other livestock in the state. It will control and regulate the rearing and grazing of cattle and other livestock in designated ranching areas of Edo State. It is meant to eliminate the conflict between nomadic cattle herders and their agents and the local breeders and owners of communities, farmers, and private individuals and institutions. It will eliminate land degradation, air and water pollution, loss of biodiversity, deforestation, and other menaces arising from open grazing. It will create a conducive environment for large-scale crop production. It will promote modern techniques of animal husbandry through the creation of ranching areas. It will promote jobs and investment opportunities in cattle and other livestock farming. It will prevent the destruction of crops, community ponds, and properties by and livestock owners or their agents who graze openly. It will prevent, control, and manage the spread of diseases and enhance a high and healthy breed of cattle and other livestock. It will promote international best practices in dairy and beef production. It will reduce the incidence of road accidents caused by open grazing of livestock. For this law to be effective, the law also provides that there will be a cattle and livestock control committee which will be constituted as follows. It will be chaired by a retired senior security officer, not below the rank of major or its equivalent in any of the forces. It will have representatives of the governor on security matters. It will have the state chairman of the vigilante group. The secretary will be a rank of a chief state council. 3 chairmen of the local governments, 1 representing each senatorial, will be on the committee. The managing director of Edo GIS will be on the committee. 1 representative each of the traditional rulers from the 3 senatorial districts 2 representatives of registered cattle or other livestock farmers association will be in the committee, while 3 community youths selected from 3 senatorial areas of the state will be in the committee. This committee will have a lot of powers to set the rules for anybody who wants to be involved in the livestock business in Edo State, and also impose the required fines. So it is now a crime in Edo for anybody to just allow their cattle or their animals to just roam without control. And before the end of August, the committee will be constituted and inaugurated.
Brigadier General Sani Abdullahi when be commander for 4 Brigade, Nigerian Army, and Abu Tiyaro when be commissioner of police, come here and say security na everybody duty, and the best way to handle this problem na to involve communities.
I have been privy to this arrangement from the beginning, as most of you are aware. We held a lot of meetings during the period of the acting governor, and we are extremely very glad to know that the feedback today from Edo Central has been the best of our engagement in this matter. We thank you. We have noticed with delight too, since the commencement of this special journey, Edo Central remained more peaceful, and you have abided by our work plan. We are so grateful. The corridor along the railway lines, especially Ekpong area, we must all put more effort there, because we discovered that the Ekpong forest to Igbanke axis, where we have boundary with Delta, is still a sore point in our mouth. And we, the traditional rulers in that corridor, should work more in concert with our hunters and the vigilante to pay more attention to clearing or clearance operation or combing that particular forest. We should do more by even laying ambush much more now, staying in the forest longer, not just casually entering and coming out, so that the more they have effect of our reaction, the more they go far away from our territory. We want to thank you for what we have been doing in Edo Central, and the template of our success story here will be escalated for others to copy. I'm equally delighted to let you know that our neighboring states are already making inquiries about the success story of the internal security framework of Edo State. So much so that a good number want to copy what we have done or what we are doing, and it gives us courage to do more, to consolidate on the gains of the moment and advance it to the next level, so that at the end of the day, the Edo miracle will have a cascading impact on the national environment. Once more, thank you for what we have been doing, and we in the security community are determined to work with you to make this success better than what we have.
Well, the Commissioner of Police has actually mentioned all that has been put in place to ensure a safe Edo State. And I also want to reiterate that putting our common challenges to the fore, Edo State remains tops in terms of security arrangements. The kudos does not just go to the security agencies. I will say the kudos goes to our royal fathers, members of the community, because today, as it is in this country, the best way to approach security is to adopt the whole of community approach. Synergy with both communities and security agencies still remains paramount. There is no strength greater than the willpower. If we have the willpower to do it, we'll do it. And I want to assure you, the security agencies are out here, not just with the willpower, but we only have the firepower is available to us to assist you in doing what you have to do. That we want to assure you.
Traditional rulers and other stakeholders constitute mouth for the matter.
And we join the state government in all the governor has just said now. In most of our bush, we don't have issues there. And the other area I want to suggest is where they have these slaughterhouses, where there are about thousands are sleeping there, bike riders, and where they park their trailers. I think the government should do something about that. Let the bike riders go and get a house. Go and rent a place. They should live like human beings. I think my local government also deliberated on that and agreed. Our vigilante, we are happy with them. We are happy the governor said he was going to give them support because they have not been paid anything at all. They have their bike, they go to the bush, they have their materials, which is not provided by the local government, but some of us in the various communities. So these are areas where we want government to pay attention to.
We all know that the insecurity of this country has actually eaten deep the fabric of our society. As regard to the bushes, the people that are farming the bush, so messages were also sent to those that are concerned. And the time frame given to them is at the end of this month, that they must, according to our Royal Highness, that they must vacate that land which they are occupying. Also, the hideout in the bush, people who are not residing in the bush, and they do go out to hunt for human beings. I mean those kidnappers. I am sure all the people that come from Uromi will attest to that, that our DPO took the bows of the horns and is actually doing his best to make sure that place is crime-free. So in respect to the market places also, our HOS also made sure that she did all what she could, that those people hiding the marketplace are being told that at the end of this month also, we don't want to see anybody living inside the market. And henceforth, that drastic action is going to be taken against them. As we stand now, all the people in Eastern Northeast, all the village heads are aware of what is going on, and we are taking a drastic step to make sure that at the end of the month, complied completely with the directive of the state governor.
On the 5th day, we went to Benin, and we were being instructed and given a direction, and we enjoyed it. And when we came back, then a meeting was immediately scheduled by our HOS, and we went. And we, respectively, among all the traditional rulers, went back home and they had meeting with our people. So that one is done. Like my area, that was very troublesome. People were hearing through the radio and they said that. Sometimes when I go out, I'm always ashamed when I hear about it. But since that day, the police and the way that we're taking care of it, I think there's no noise at the moment. But we pray that it should last like that. It will just go like that. So that there will be no embarrassment again. The area in the Eastern Southeast, where I know we, the traditional rulers and in our local government and the HOS, with this Oria-ish area, Okoyomo. There's a camp there where everybody now, I don't know what I would call it, whether everybody there is a traditional ruler, just as they are trying to plant into an illusion. Then, now you have the Kojima boys there, and you have the cattle the henchmen. They are all there, and they always with violence. And in that our last meeting, we called the senior man and said, "You should please make them to get up from that Ekokoyomo at Oria." And they go from Okeye, that would be Uboha Road to Ikoye, go to this state to Oria. From there they start operating. But the police is really helping us to arrest the issue.
On behalf of our local governments, East and West, we want to say that we appreciate you very well. We appreciate the Commissioner of Police and all the security chiefs, because that very day we arrived at a consensus and every one of us were told what to do, and ever since, security situation in our area is very, very okay. I want to beg that as traditional rulers, we need extra rules. We have been craving for constitutional rules at the level of the federal, but for some reasons, that constitutional rules have not been given to we, the traditional rulers, because we know our domain, but at the level of the states, we know what to do. But now, security issue, we need extra curricular role now to be able to curb the menace that is trying to ravage our state. At the level of Nigeria, those states, security-wise, God has been faithful to us. And we pray that God will continue to see us through. We need structured support for our vigilantes in our domains.
We, the traditional rulers, the hunters and the vigilantes in Igwe local government, we held an emergency meeting. At that meeting, some of the decisions reached at that meeting have been implemented. So at that meeting, we agreed to comb our bush right from Udo Igwe to Ekpo, which is the last town in Igwe local government, which our people, both the vigilante, the police, and the hunters, they have carried out that exercise. In that our meeting, we also agreed that nobody will sleep in any of the market in Igwe local government, although nobody has been sleeping in any market in Igwe local government before now. So at that meeting, held with the HOS, we also resolved that we will restrain the movement of our people, maybe from 10 p.m. till about 5 a.m. And we have also resolved that each quarter from every community should carry out roadblock in their various community. For example, in Igwebe, the youth in Igwebe will come out from 10 o'clock to block roads so that if there is any criminal movement at that area, those people will be able to detect it. So also, the same thing is being carried out across the 8 clans that make up the Igwebe local government area. So we have not been relenting. We are also anxious to do more. But for now, Igwebe local government is peaceful. But we pray that God will help us to sustain it in Jesus' name.
The day that security meeting was held in Benin, I was not disposed. I could not attend that meeting. I explained to the HOS of Eastern West, and he was fully aware of the reason why I could not attend that meeting. When they came back, he briefed me everything, what they discussed there. And we worked together to ensure that those cattle markets along Ujone are removed from there. So he discussed with me, and we decided to we quickly swung into action and looked for a place for them to relocate to. The area of Kopi in the bush, what they call it, Oasis. The vigilantes and some of my people, they went in there and make sure they did not find any of them there. But the information reaching me was that meeting held in Benin, perpetrated ran everywhere. So maybe because that some of them ran away. Because when they got to that Oasis, they saw a small settlement there. They destroyed the whole thing they saw there. I want to appeal to the governor. If information comes from governor and government give an order, the people will not, they will definitely obey. People will definitely obey. Like this very particular meeting that day that was held in Benin, it vibrated around everywhere. And most of those evil people, those people who are kidnappers or whatever they call themselves, they got information and they quickly found their way. And those people who were relocated to the new place they are now, those cattle markets, instruction was also given to them, and I also told my people to watch them very well, to ensure that the new district they have there, where they will be selling, nobody sleeps there. And the HOS of the council also gave a standing order that they should not sleep there. They should only sell and leave. Anybody who wants to remain should go and rent in the town, and if they don't want to rent, they should find their way. And the instruction has been given to my people that any of these people who come to rent, they should always watch them. Anything they see, they should let me know. Or if they hear any strange thing, they should let me know. And they also let the chairman of the council know, or the DPO should let them know what is happening. So people quickly know what is going on, so know how to solve the problem. So I think for now, there is little peace. And I don't think, by God's will, if we continue like this, there will be permanent peace.
On the 5th of July, we were actually in Benin with the acting governor. We had this meeting, this security meeting. It was a very good one. It was a laudable one. And since then, my community, we have also swung into action, even with our DPO, even with my DPO. So we had a meeting, and that meeting was a very successful one. And today, the Bush Komi is on the proactive place. We are really working on the Bush Komi. So of recent, the vigilante men, they went into the bush. They did their bush coping, and they were able to locate some camps that were illegally built, that was not permitted by the community. And by so doing, they find one of the Fulani herdsmen, which I believe the commissioner of police is aware today, and he was arrested and was taken to CID. But there's one challenge my community is facing, the vigilante. They don't have material to work, like bikes, motorbikes to go to bushes, like this, pump passions and all of that. They don't have it. Yes, they are doing their work. They are proactive in their duty, but they need enhancement. They need enhancement to energize their duty, to energize their job the more. Because that is the only challenge now we are facing as a community. And there's also an information reaching me, that was day before yesterday. I don't know if it is as a result of this bush coping that Uboha community, that they have written to, or they have sent a message rather to us that Uboha is going to be the next target. I said, I want to crave this indulgence with this meeting to please, Your Excellency, to heighten up the security in Uboha, most especially the Uboha road there, for the safety and lives of my people.
Omo Aluke Ajakaye, TMC TV News.